Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, Mashira's Cameron, and today I'm talking about Ant-Man: The Beginning. This fan film released a few hours ago. I don't know when this video is going to go out. Before we get into it, however, if you haven't already seen my fan film, Spider-Man Kingpin, that's on my channel now. And also, if you haven't already signed up for Fan Film Fest, it closes in like 2 weeks. Menacing Studios, the vote to the things is like sign up, I think, closes in like a week. So just giving you a heads up. Okay, let's get into this. I think the best way to open this is basically my theory. I do not think Menacing Studios cared at all about this fan film. I've had this theory for about a few things for like about a month now. I think this kind of confirmed it. So we have and if you don't know what I mean, we have the big Spider-Man ones. We have Beyond Negative, Hobgoblin, not in that order, and Bounty. So if we just look at their channel, they had so much build up to Beyond Negative, and then finally released. And then they already released like a behind the scenes for Bounty and an announcement for Bounty. So well, for Bounty, for Ant-Man: The Beginning, they had like a clip, and the official trailer released 6 days before the film. So I do not think there was that much care put into this fan film. And then you add the fact that it's only 20 minutes. If I remember correctly, there's a fan film going on in like June or something, like Daredevil, which we haven't even seen a trailer for. So I feel like Menacing Studios, it's not an issue, but is a very big fan of their Spider-Man content and isn't a big fan of getting any other content done. But now let's talk about this fan film. Before it, I did end up watching Beyond Negative, and Beyond Negative is better than this in, I'd say, practically every way. I liked a few things about this, and we'll get through it. Because it's only 20 minutes, I can do like a short scene-by-scene breakdown. Overall, before I get to the 6 points, I think it began very strong. I think it had a nice opening sequence. Actually, I think it began okay. I think it was weird how Taskmaster would just start attacking a random girl. I think that was a very weird way to start. I think the main thing with the characters in this, because there's an official character 6 point. So what I'd say about the characters in this, we can get into the acting and story, so I'll wait for this actually. I'd say we'll talk about all this in the 6 points. Let's just begin this because I'm trying to avoid it. Directing. I'd say this is directed pretty decently. I think there are some shots in this that are very creative. I think there's a lot of ways that it's created very good. I think there are a lot of times that the shot kind of just lingers a bit too long. Like, I feel like if it happened a few times, it's okay. But towards the end of it, I feel like there were too many times the camera just lingered. But I also did like a lot of the shots in it. I think there were a lot of good shots. And this is a main part of directing and also editing. I really liked how much more live this film felt. Like, with Beyond Negative, I said the whole thing was green screens. I don't really have so much against using green screens, but I feel like a green screen is going to take the viewer out of the world if it's not used correctly. And I feel like when there were green screen used in this, it definitely kind of took me out of it a bit. However, I would say it's used a lot less than Beyond Negative. I feel like it's very rare in Beyond Negative when the green screen was used well. I think the train sequences was used well. But besides that, I feel like when I rewatched it, I felt like there was a lot of times it took me out of the film. So I am happy that there were less green screen. And I think if green screen is going to be continued to be used by Menacing Studios, I think it has to be more immersive and feel less like you just chucked. If you're going to use green screen, you really have to commit to it and really make sure it looks really good. And I think that's a big thing with green screen. Like, there is directing to be done. And especially with one part of it where the redhead was talking. They were just talking and it cuts to a new clip, but their body parts were in the same thing and they didn't change the angle at all. So it looked very jumpy. Like, I feel like there were definitely things with green screen. I think you can still direct with a green screen. That's my point. Let's move on to editing. I'd say the editing in this is pretty good. I think it's nothing crazy. However, I'd say the editing in this works for what it's trying to work for. Acting. This is a part. I think the actors were not given the best script to work with, which we'll get into with story. So what I'm actually going to do is something that I don't normally do. I'm going to switch acting and story. So I'm going to talk about story now. I'm going to talk about, like, the characters first. I feel like Ant-Man, he was okay. I think he was definitely a decent character in this. Hope, I feel liked her dad more than herself. And Taskmaster was not threatening in literally any way. First issue I have with this film, 20 minutes. Ew. I feel like for a fan film that has a really good story that they could tell, too short. Way too short. Now let's go into the actual story. Opens very decent. I think the attack with the Taskmaster attacking the girl is not a great opening. I think it shows Taskmaster, but because it doesn't tell you what it is, it makes Taskmaster look like a mugger. And it also makes Taskmaster, from the way the trailers at least showed it, made him look like a threat. He's not threatening in this. He feels like a mugger. And I'm not a huge fan of that. The next part is the one I liked. I really liked him trying to get to school. It was like 2 minutes, so it was like a tenth of the fan film. I thought it was still good. Then we have the in-class scenes. This was something it really needed. I really liked him getting to know Hope and the teacher. I liked all those scenes. Then we get to the first big fight with Taskmaster and where's the first fight? The fact I'm forgetting it, it's in the building. It's not even a fight, that's why I'm forgetting it. Up to that point, I feel like there's, like, the whole green screen issue. I'd say overall to that point, it's a pretty solid fan film. Then I think it goes downhill quickly. I think the story immediately kicks into gear. Like, he somehow finds the Ant-Man suit. I don't know how he gets it, but he gets it. Then he has the Ant-Man suit. He starts playing around with it. And then he is, like, at school or something, and everyone immediately knows Taskmaster's attacking and are really calm with it. Like, they're really calm that the Taskmaster's attacking the school. So then the girls on the roof, and then they find a parking garage. So now they're in the parking garage, and then there's the parking garage fight. And we'll talk more about that when we get to choreography. And then they immediately start training for, like, 30 seconds. And then they're like, oh, Taskmaster's going to be here. How do I know that? I don't know, but, like, he's going to be here. Overall, I think Taskmaster was not threatening in any way. That's the main thing I'm pissed about. He's one of my favorite comic characters. And he's never been done well on screen. So I feel like it's the type of thing, if you want to make a good Taskmaster, you have to make him very threatening. You have to make it seem like he's unpredictable and spooky. And I don't see that. I feel like he's like, oh, he wants, like, pin particles, but he's, like, mugging people to get it. Like, I don't think he killed a single person in this. That's, like, my first big red flag. I think this is definitely going a bit longer than I wanted it to, so let me just start wrapping up this review. Acting, now that we've gone out the script out of the way, I think the actor of Ant-Man does a very good job. I think he is a good Ant-Man. However, what I would like to see is a big step up. It's like, I really want to see if in that Ant-Man sequel, into the Quantum Realm thing or something, to really see a huge gain in that character. Okay. Next is Hope. I think Hope is good. I think she is acted better than Ant-Man, however, has a way worse script. Like, I feel like I could connect with Hope, but I also feel like she's obsessed with her dad. So, like, it's like, oh, she comes to class, her dad's something, like, she praises her dad in, like, a non-humane way. Then we have Taskmaster. one scene I did forget, the Joel Harris cameo, the Spider-Man cameo. That was a really good scene. I think that scene was done perfectly for that crossover. Choreography, oh god. The choreography in this was... Beyond Negative had some really good, interesting fight scenes. And this did not have good, interesting fight scenes. They had one good shot. They had one really good shot. And I think the choreography guy's the same. I think Joel Harris did choreography for both. I might be wrong. I can look it up. But overall, I did not think... I think the punches felt very bland. I think overall the fights were like 2-year-olds fighting without the punches landing. Like, they were like punch, but like punch, punch. I don't feel like they used any surroundings. I don't think they made the fights immersive. I also don't think they used the camera well in the fights. I think the fights were kind of like not done. I think they could have been done way better. I think they were done way better in things like Beyond Negative. And if that was a different choreography person, then it makes sense. But if it's the same person, I really don't get that. Finally, we're moving on to music, and they just took music from other things. So, overall, I had some high expectations for this coming off of Beyond Negative. And I feel like there was a lot that let me down. I think I kind of knew going into this wasn't going to be, like, amazing. Mostly due to how little promotion they did. But once it got to that point, I feel like there were some things that they nailed. I think this is not like a bad fan film in any way. They nailed a lot of things. And then there were a few things, especially the fight scene, especially Taskmaster, that felt rushed. And my main thing with this is I think this entire film felt very rushed. I don't feel like much care was put into it. I feel like it was the type of thing they want to make content, but they didn't really want to make good content. I think if this film was given a bit higher of a budget, a bit longer to film, I think this could have been way better. I just think it felt very rushed, and it didn't feel like anyone in the project cared about the project. Overall, I still enjoyed it. I think it feels rushed even watching it. And you can tell it was rushed, like when, not even the plot, like how it was made. It feels like not enough care was put into it. It just didn't feel like care was put into it. So, overall, I still really enjoyed it. I know I said a lot of negative things in this, which is not, I normally try to stay very positive in my reviews. I know I said a bit more negative on this, but I feel like coming off of Beyond Negative, I feel like this is a very big letdown. And if we look at their rest of their slates, which I think I might make a video talking about their slate, Phase 2 slate, and Phase 1. I think there's a bit left in Phase 1. I actually don't know. If I end up making that video, I can talk more into it. I feel like if this is the way it's going to go, I think Menacing Studios could be in big trouble. And I'm going to leave you guys on that positive note. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already seen my own fan film, Spider-Man and Kingpin in Time, that's on my channel now. If you haven't already signed up for Fan Film Fest, or you have to submit your video, that is due on like May 22nd or something. I actually don't know. Besides that, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see a video of me talking about the Phase 1 and 2 slates for Menacing Studios, comment that below. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.